Hello, welcome to Australian Book Travels and welcome to this month's Sneaky Midweeker. Obviously we're in a different location in a different outfit. We are on our property. We are actually in the chicken run on our property. Now the reason for that is because a number of you over the last few months, you've asked if perhaps we could show what we do on the property, or how we grow food, or how we grow our plants, and all that sort of thing. So I thought perhaps the monthly midweekers are a really good opportunity to start that and see whether you enjoy it and how successful it is. So we're starting here because in the chicken run, because it's now winter here in central Victoria. It's towards the end of winter, and we really are starting to have to get the garden weeded and prepared for spring. We're probably running a little bit late, to be honest, but unfortunately have been really busy doing other things on the property. So what I want to do, my intention this year is to change and perhaps pretty up the chicken run. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go behind the camera and I'll just take you around the chicken run, give you a little bit of a history of the property and the soil and what we have done so far. Please remember, it is winter. It really does look at its worst. The chicken run is generally, it has, well, it's looked better, put it that way. It has looked better, and winter is really the worst time for you to see it. But I will stop now, I'll go behind the camera and I will give you a little bit of a rundown of what I want to do. I really want to spruce this up and make it a lot prettier and a little bit more enjoyable for the chickens. So let me go behind the camera. I'll speak to you in a minute. Rightio, I've actually brought you outside the run so that you get a little bit of a complete perspective. So I walk into the chicken run. This is all handmade. The chicken run is approximately 10 metres by 10 metres. It is a domestic chicken run. We were running quite a few chickens at one time, not in this run, but in another part of the property. We were having, we had free-range eggs and a small market garden. So quite a niche or boutique produce. So this is our domestic run. As I say, it is 10 by 10 and it is approximately 30, perhaps 35 metres away from the house. We deliberately placed it here away from the house so that we didn't have trouble with vermin or snakes and noise and smell and all that sort of thing. Although I must say these chickens they're not a problem for us in terms of smell or anything. They're really good. Now, we did have a lot more in here for our domestic purposes. We now have only the 4 chickens and a rooster. Our intention is to either breed or buy more. And that's one of the reasons why I really want to do this chicken run up. So we walk over here. There's a garden all around it. I built this. Oh, I say I built it. I had contractors put in the posts, or they dug the holes for me with an auger when they were conducting some other works on fencing on the property, and then I just placed the posts in probably perhaps a metre into the ground, maybe not quite a metre, and very loosely concreted them in, just a small bit of concrete just to give them a bit of stability. And then I'll just show you here, I attached a small aviary wire, but that wasn't for the chickens so much as snakes, because we do have a lot of venomous snakes here in Victoria, in Australia, and I really wanted to keep them out of the chicken run. And so far, 10 years the chicken run has been in place. So far we, touch touch wood, fingers crossed, we have had no problems with the snakes in the chicken run. Now, what would that be? That's not quite a metre, perhaps. Maybe it is nearly a metre, not quite. And then from there I have the chicken wire. You can see there. You can see the chicken wire there. And then probably about 9 years ago, I planted the callistemons. These are Australian natives. They were absolutely so tiny when I put them in because, of course, they're cheaper, and they're cheaper to buy them very small, and also they then adapt to their environment better when they're smaller. Excuse me. So these have grown and given the chickens much needed shelter from wind and the sun, and in some cases the rain. Now we have planted, the soil is clay. It is a yellowy orange clay, really with very little to no topsoil. And this garden in here, the soil in here now is absolutely amazing. We often put in, sorry, that's just our geese going a little crazy in the background. What we do is we put hay or straw for a period of time on the ground, and then we let the chickens dig it over and scratch it over. And very occasionally, for their benefit, I dig holes in the ground so that the girls can scratch a little deeper, get a few more bugs and things like that, but also they help then loosen up the clay. And it is working really well. I mean, we now have, this is an ornamental fig, a very productive pomegranate, a very productive cherry tree, believe it or not. You wouldn't believe that, would you? And then this apple tree has been extremely productive over the last few years. In fact, this last season we had the best fruit in terms of quality and also volume, amount. It's just beautiful. And then we've just, in the last couple of year, I think, we've put in another apple tree. Surrounding is a grapevine ornamental quince there. You can probably see the bees. I'm not sure if you can see them in there working away. And in fact, I actually think one of them hit the camera earlier. We may be able to see on the footage. So we have table grapes, and this is a Pierre de Ronsard rose. It looks absolutely beautiful and lush, hanging over into the chicken run. So, okay, let's start over here as well. This is, excuse all the rubbish, this is one thing that we're wanting to clean up. This is an old dog crate that I've had for many years. And what we did, because now the chickens we don't allow them into the garden because they do make a very big mess in our garden and dig up seedlings and seeds and things. We had a hole cut into the fence, and then I put this dog crate in, and it gives them a little laneway. As you can see, it hasn't been used this season yet. And then what that allows them to do is it gives them a bit of safety, obviously, having the gate and that there. But it then allows, in the winter time, such as now, we allow the chickens to go into the vegetable garden and have a scratch around, which then keeps bugs and things down from the vegetable garden, and it gives them a little bit of greenery and just a change of scenery for their own mental health, I think. And speaking of mental health, I had and I have a really old mirror in the background, you can see there. That was to entertain them, to give them a little bit of something else to look at. And it has been, strangely, well, it was a mirror that we didn't need any longer, and we really didn't want to throw it away, but we didn't need it. So I placed it here in the chicken run for their entertainment, and strangely enough, it has done really well. We had ducks in here some time ago before they passed away, and they really enjoy it, looking into the mirror. It just gives them something else to do. And apart from their chicken coop, we have been given over time these little dog kennels, and we've just supplied that for them, for the chickens, as an alternative to either get away from the heat, the sun, and to nest if they wish. But they're a little defunct now that there's only really the 5 of them. Although we do intend to get more chickens, they just look a little bit scrappy. So I'm thinking we may keep the middle one, renovate that, paint it up and make it look attractive, and then dispose of the other 2 or place them somewhere else. Perhaps, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Now this is a little water tank. Oh, there's Arthur in the vegetable garden. This is a little water tank that is not and has never been used. My intention is to attach a gutter, which I'll show you in a minute, to attach a gutter to the chicken run, and then any runoff water can then sit in the tank, and we can use it as an added water supply for the chickens. This is an old bed head that I don't know where we got that from, actually. I think it was just given to us in case we wanted another bed or something, and I can't really remember. It's been there so long. But we put that there again as entertainment for the chickens, and it's not really used. So it's once again, it's looking a little scrappy in the chicken run, and I want to tidy it up. So I will probably move that somewhere or use it in the vegetable garden for some other purpose, or I don't know, or we'll have a good think about that. So in the past, when we didn't have these trees and so much shade in the chicken run, I placed these old blinds for the girls to have shade. But now that we do have all of these plants around and there is quite a bit of shade in the summertime, it's my intention to really dispose of that or fold it up and use it for some other purpose. But you can see there down beside the chicken coop there, I had a little bit more shade cloth. So I want to get rid of all of that because it does look a little bit scruffy and scrappy, and I do want to tidy this chicken run up so that it's much more attractive. Okay, I'll show you here. I'm going to repaint this chicken coop. It is a children's cubby house. I bought it new 10 years ago when we decided to have the chicken run here. But it hasn't been painted in about 8 years, so I really need to get onto that this year when the weather is better and tidy it up and make it look really attractive. This stepping system here again was for the chickens so that they could have a bit of fun jumping on and off things. Oh, I've just been working in here. There's a horse manure scoop there, so apologies everyone. Yeah, so this is a Banksia rose that's attached to that. I decided to not paint that's treated pine, that step, so I don't feel the need to paint it. I'm just a bit worried that when the chickens jump up on it, that it may start flaking and all of that sort of thing. So I thought rather than it look really untidy, I've decided to grow a Banksia rose. That's only been in since last season, so hopefully that's yellow, and that growing over the step will give us or give the chickens a little bit of shade. So that's that. Now we do have beehives in here. I'll just show you. Very unattractive, serviceable, workable, but unattractive. So I want to get rid of the pallet there, the metal pallet, and do something really nice in that corner. But we do have to be careful because you cannot simply move a beehive. You have to do it progressively. Otherwise, what you find is if I was to move that beehive now to another area, say a few feet away, the foraging bees that are out now and working, they will come back to exactly that spot, and we will have just a a hive of bees sitting there overnight, and they will be really vulnerable to the weather. And they won't go back into the hive. So I have to do that progressively. I think what I will do is when this season in the spring, when I work the bees, I will change over give them a new hive, and then just very easily have it at the same height in the same location, but just replace that pallet so that it's a little more attractive. And then there is this one here. As you can see, the girls are working really hard. Ignore the 44-gallon drum there. It's just been there for other things that I've been collecting. So this too, the platform that this hive is on is disintegrating, so I really must get on and change that. We do have a metal one in the shed, so we're going to just tidy that up and then put this hive on the metal stand. So yes, that is it. And then over a period of time I have had a lovely little garden here, but that has now again gone a little scrappy, so I really want to tidy it up. I mean, you are seeing it as at its worst. It's at its worst. It is winter, so of course you can't see how much shade there normally is in the chicken run, and it's not pretty because there's no fruit and there are no leaves or blossom or anything. So it is aged now where it does look pretty in the spring and the summer, but overall I really do want to change this and make it much more attractive, and a simple painting of the chicken coop will help, but I'd like to do a little bit more. I'd like more interactive things for the chickens, the other thing is I do have these water bowls. They're old cooking bowls that are durable, and so I have used them for water. But I really would prefer something that is, much nicer looking, durable, and something perhaps with a lid over the top where we don't get leaves and other birds defecating in it. Not that we have a lot of trouble with that, but it doesn't hurt to, perhaps when we're changing over the water system for the chickens, that we just keep that in mind. It would be best to have something where their water is kept clean all the time. The water is changed every day, but I would like to not have to do that, perhaps every few days. So a system where they have a cover over the top of the water containers would suit that. And we have, you probably noticed, a little cane chair in the corner. That was just an old thing that we thought the girls could sit on. My intention was originally to have something growing over that, but the girls keep digging it up. So I may have to think about popping some barriers for a short period of time whilst something is growing, so that the girls don't dig it up. I did have to do that with the Banksia rose. They seem to be not as interested in that anymore, so that's good. They're not digging that up. But yes, I would really want to have this area much nicer, even in winter. Now I know we can't to the chicken run, the coop. We can't have a footpath. There is no point doing that because the girls will dig and scratch all of the soil and hay over the path anyway. Perhaps I'll have some stepping stones. That may be something I can do. We have also noticed that this ornamental quince is growing in the chicken run, and I'm allowing that to happen. The girls don't seem to be touching it, and it just provides something else in the run. Perhaps if it really grows well, they may be able to sit in amongst it and feel safe and secure, and it's just something else to entertain them. Of course, it's probably not good for the grapevine that is there, but that doesn't matter. That's quite a few years old now, and it may be that we will have to replace the grapevine at some point anyway. So I'm happy just to leave the grapevine there whilst the quince is growing. So that's it, everyone. If you have any ideas, oh, there's Arthur. He has been in the coop looking for eggs, no doubt. If you have any ideas to share, that would be much appreciated. But what I would like to do is show you the changes as we come up with ideas and implement them. And of course paint and refresh everything and see how we go. And then once that's all done, I would like to perhaps we'll probably have to buy some more chickens. And I wouldn't mind when we had our commercial free range chickens, we rehoused them from a farm. Oftentimes with these egg farms, the chicken farms, they renew their chickens every 18 months because, of course, as the chickens get older, they produce less. So then these farms refresh them, and or that, you know, they breed or buy in new chicks, and they dispose of the 18-month-old chickens. So I have in the past bought them from these farms, and we're happy. Our animals live with us for the rest of their life. So our chickens have died of old age. In the past, we did have, unfortunately, a fox attack quite a few years ago, which really distressed us quite a big deal, a great deal. But usually our animals die of old age or, you know, illness. So they are with us for life. We are thinking of perhaps buying from a chicken farm again, but I would like to perhaps get a few different breeds. That would be nice too. But anyway, we'll see. We shall see what happens. So I hope that is of interest to you. You can see that, you know, for 5 chickens, it's not a bad area, and they then go out, as I say, into the vegetable patch when we allow them to. Probably, actually, that wouldn't hurt to let them out today because it is a lovely day, and the vegetable garden needs a bit of a scratch over. So, and what's this girl doing here? She's clearly found something. Okay. I will leave it there and get back in front of the camera and finish off this video. Well, I hope that wasn't too much of a ramble. I wanted to show you, honestly, the chicken coop as it is in reality. I didn't want to pretty it up for you because, of course, every garden and every farmer we have our problems. You know, the property doesn't always look beautiful, and the 2 beehives I have are in, although they're doing very well, they're in a state of disrepair, so I do need to clean those up. That is a problem. And we have many other beehives. I have about 11. So this year we will have to split the beehives. I may even show you that process when I get to do it. But yeah, we have to split them so that we may end up this year, we're thinking, with about 15. So that's that. And we use this produce for ourselves, family and friends. There was a time when we had a little market, a sort of a boutique market garden out the back of behind the chicken run on a half an acre. We were doing very well, but water at that time was a real problem. So we decided to close that down because it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't environmentally friendly, really, to be buying in water all the time. So we are trying to work the property and the animals with whatever water we can collect on site. We do have a dam. It's only 1 megalitre. We do have a large water tank, and there are occasions, unfortunately, where we do have to bring water in. But we are trying to take measures now where, you know, we're looking to the future where we will not have to buy water in. That's a long project, probably a bit expensive, but we'll see how we go with that. Okay, well, I hope that gives you an indication. Maybe over the next few months you will see a difference in the chicken run. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that I can make it look a lot more attractive and perhaps even a little bit more usable for us as well. You know, we have thought, because the soil in here now is so good and it grows absolutely anything, we're thinking perhaps of moving the chickens into a new pen and using this as a vegetable garden. But like everything, that's a long-term plan. We have so much to do on this property, as you will see over the coming months and years, that really some things have to be put on the back burner. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you something to inspire you or to interest you in any way, and I'm hoping that you will see a difference over the coming period of time, coming months. All right, look after yourselves, happy reading, safe travels, and I'll see you on Saturday for the travel video and next Monday for our book recommendation. And don't forget, we have our book competition coming up. Okay, everyone, happy reading, safe travels. Bye for now.